Well, welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and whatever YouTube tells you to do. Thank you, Rambo. Posted, Rambo. Posted. It is second class, so it might take about 3 months, but definitely posted and signed. Welcome to live number 67, I think. As ever, thank you to Rambo for your kindness. You can be the legendary Battenberger to start this particular live. Cough's getting better. So it's all very positive. Let's have a look. Who have we got this evening? GB Patriot. Oh, yes, GB Patriot. Found your email very interesting. So interesting, I'm going to read it all out, so to speak. Just getting my frock sorted. Somebody says... was it Chip? No, who was it? Somebody says, oh, I say, Adrian, does one have a small tincture under your frock? That's not a choir boy, I hope. But we are allowed, in this particular Church of the Wrong'uns, we are actually allowed to have the body and the blood of the Christ. So I've got a few sandwiches, ham salad, and a small snifter of red. I'm allowed. And hibiscus to start, of course. Hang on, Chip Atkinson, don't go around sticking Ford Transit radio antennas up your bumholes. I've just been diagnosed with venereal disease. Chip Atkinson, you could be taken out and shot for that. That was so bad. Dan Payne, evening Dan, Andrew James. Oh, hello. Control, this is 6-7 here. I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you clear. Yeah, Control, this is 6-7 here. Wasn't that the Queen Mother's favourite song? Car 6-7, Car 6-7. Fabulous. Evening, Robert Francis. Thank you, Andrew. Evening, Robert Francis. He says, Adrian, Jean-Charles de Menezes, 6 out of 7 at point blank range, due to nerves, and Cressida Dick used the word, one she should not. She did not mean it, got anti-terrorist job following. Yeah, she's retired now, isn't she? Or has she taken a political job? Annie Watt says, hello, Adrian. Yeah, wrong. Looking forward to this one. Best wishes to you and Mrs. A. Thank you, Annie Watt. Welcome to the live chat all. Rusty Mouse says to Andrew James, BD to Z Victor 1? Blimey, that's like Dixon at Dock Green. I can hear you clear. I don't know about Adrian yet. I was aware. I was just donning me frock. One of these days I'll wear a collar and a wig. Chip Atkinson, hurry up, Penfold, hurry up. And Andrew James, oh, Paris is 1 day away. Ooh la la. Are we talking in code now? Paris is less than that. It's an hour away. Depends which plane you get. The Bovril evening, Andrew. And Andrew James. Oh, hello. Is Bovril still £4.50 a jar in Tesco's? I had a massive clear out. Oh, this is Andrew says, I've had a massive clear out of 45s today and found some gems. Oh, don't you get me started on music. Chip Atkinson. Neil Armstrong once said, the only person I've ever seen moonwalk was Michael Jackson. That is funny. And Viv Kenyon. Evening, Viv and Darlow. She says, I'm in my pew, ready and waiting patiently, Adrian. It's all right, you don't have to open your prayer book just yet. In for a good one, yeah, wrong, says Viv and Darlow. And Bovril, 45s are on the way back in again. Don't throw away, you might lose a fortune. To Andrew James, obviously. And Andrew James says, oh, I don't throw records away. I found a Piccadilly Witch and a day trip to Bangor. Sorry. Depends which label. Possibly not worth much. But I do like vinyl. Have quite a collection in my time. But it seems that vinyl has like a warmth to it. It has a warmth and hang on, let's get back to this. God blimey. Right from there. and it has a romance about it, vinyl, which I'm sure you're very well aware. My rarest piece of vinyl would have been, I sold it on eBay, obviously, would have been Paul McCartney, No More Lonely Nights, the Mole Mix, number 007, bizarrely. Some guy in Australia bought it off me for, was it 600 quid? And I did have a Prince DMSR, Dance Music Sex Romance, and that one went for about 500 quid as well. I wish. And at one point, no, it was just a substantial. It was a substantial record collection. I've gotten rid of most of it by now, but this is live number 67. We'll get to some of your comments in a moment. Next live is Sunday, live number 68, 24th of March. So we're getting into the rhythm, we're getting into the regularity. Welcome to the Spring Equinox. Spring Equinox was 0306 hours this morning. So it's coming to an end. And that's when it's 12 and 12. It's equal daylight and nighttime at the equator. So that's your Spring Equinox. The next one is the summer one, which, if you live in Iceland, it's 24-hour daylight, I think. Could be wrong. We are going to take a look at, in a moment, this royal family malarkey, because I do have a take on it. And again, it's a unique take based on what I know from behind the scenes in the media. Andrew says, I don't have rare LPs. Hang on. God. Honestly, I get it for about 3 seconds on my screen and then it just disappears. I don't have any rare LPs, but I do have a sentimental piece by Go West. Oh, We Close Our Eyes. Now, didn't Go West, you have to be a certain age to remember this, didn't Go West get their break, We Close Our Eyes, on Max Headroom? Because Max Headroom was the original video DJ. Don't know whether you know that, but Go West, they used to play Go West, We Close Our Eyes on the Max Headroom on a Saturday night. And at the time, I was working in the clubs. So I'd watch Max Headroom and then disappear off into the night to work for the night. I did say the cough had gone, didn't I? Equinox, records, music. Oh, Ghetto Defendant, fabulous. It is worth a few bob, that. I have the Kraftwerk model on luminous green vinyl, 12-inch. Are you sure it's not... What was no, it wasn't the model. It was... they did another, and I can see the cover in my head. It was luminous green vinyl that you could see in the dark. Great if you're a club DJ. But it was kind of neon and black stripes. Was it the model? Can't remember. I thought it was something else. But Kraftwerk stuff now is Autobahn. That was a great song. Oof. Machine. No, I don't think it was that one. So Kraftwerk, because I think it was Florian that died, and they were, the originals. You can now pay a fortune for really good quality, as in mint or very good or excellent condition vinyl. It's a whole art, I tell you. It's an art. And what's Stephen King saying? Oh, I had Cool for Cats on pink vinyl by Squeeze. Oh, what a song. I mean, we as English men and women, or Britons, or part of the United Kingdom if you wish, because there's not just England, there's Wales and the Scots and the Irish, but we have come up with, if you look at the Kinks and Squeeze, we've come up with some amazing, of course the Beatles, amazing poetry. I'll even include Robbie Williams to a certain extent in that, but we have come up with some beautiful poetry for songs. Andrew James, record shop owners jump for joy when people trade in coloured and pictured vinyl. I bet they do. I had, what did I sell? I think I had a Prince shaped vinyl. I think it was Little Red Corvette. The dealer at the time, this was the beginning of the 90s, was like, oh, I'll take that off your hands. I'll definitely take that off your hands. And he did. I'm sure he sold it for a lot more than I got for it. I do have some shaped vinyl, but it's been in storage for decades and donkey's years. Yeah, Jim Atkinson has a very good point. There doesn't seem to be anything upcoming and legendary for years. Taylor Swift. Ah, Crumpled. Neon Lights. What a great song. I'm trying to think what my favourite Kraftwerk was. Autobahn will be up there. Neon Lights is beautiful. Trans-Europe Express. There's another single. Steve Montgomery. Peter Conway. Adrian. 2 members of Kraftwerk are deceased. One was Florian, I'm sure, and I'm sure he was the leader of Kraftwerk. They would be some age now. I mean, there were young guys in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. They'd be older than the Beatles-ish, kind of. Jim Atkinson, I've got that. Terry Wfit, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber. Oh, Jedward. No, stop. I'm taking the mickey. This, I was going to talk about, I might talk about Big Brother's Houseworld. And Jedward were kicking off. They should be thankful for the publicity. Because I'm sure everybody went, oh, I wonder what happened to Jedward now they're back. Supertramp, good band. Great band. Jim Atkinson, Yellow, The Race. There was a song. I've got it on 12-inch somewhere. Pocket Calculator. That was another one. There was a great... Can you remember... there was Kraftwerk. And then there was Yellow Magic Orchestra. And Yellow Magic Orchestra was sort of the late 70s. They came a year or two after Kraftwerk. And Yellow Magic Orchestra had the... Can you remember Space Invaders? They did a song with Space Invaders on it. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Obviously, they're not around anymore. Not that I know of. Harry Belafonte singing the Banana Boat song on 78's worth that. Mind you, to the right person, it's obviously worth something. Listen, let's stop talking about colours. Where are we? Oh, yeah, right. Oh, you want some royal gossip? We're going to give you that, Paul. Don't you worry, Paul B. Now, you know I told you back in December that 2024 was going to be 2023 on steroids. And then we kind of got into 2024 and it just went a bit mad, really. It just kicked off, especially in Japan. They only had a month, though. They only had their 15 minutes of fame, and then it was back into the shadows. And it's Sniffy Joe and all that kind of malarkey with the West and Vladimir Putin and Israel. So Japan had their moment. But I did say to you, back in December, Black Swan event. Now you'll notice that 4 months later, the whole world's copying me and you. We knew about this back in December. I told you. Black Swan event. So we've already had the double page spread in the mail. We now have Ron Paul saying, and I quote, "Prepare for some sort of Black Swan event. I believe we're reaching a point where some sudden thing is going to happen." You don't say. Ron Paul says, "I believe in the theory of the Black Swan. It's going to pop up and it's not going to be controllable." What do they know that we don't? They obviously do. They've obviously been watching. And those that are newbies, if you're a newbie, tell me you're a newbie and I'll give you a name check for the live tonight. A Black Swan event, or the Black Swan theory, or theory of Black Swan events, is a metaphor that describes an event that comes as a surprise, has a major effect, and is often inappropriately rationalized after the fact with the benefit of hindsight. So you'd be looking at the death of Diana, you're looking at 9/11, you're looking at 7/7. They're all Black Swan events, unexpected and a surprise. And then, as well as Ron Paul, General Flynn, within the last 48 hours, has also, this is from America, has also warned of a coming Black Swan event. So these two men have been pretty accurate over the last decade or so. It might behoove us to listen. The enemy will not roll over and allow Trump to win. They have something planned. Now, I do believe what is going on, and we'll get to the Royals in a moment. I do believe what's going on is we're being manipulated. So the last 4 years, since March 2020, we've had Project Fear, well, since 2016, since your wrong'uns voted to leave Europe, or Brexit. So they're not happy with us. And remember, now I'm kind of doing this on the fly. Remember, Klaus Schwab and Ursula von der Leyen said in Davos in January that they have to regain our trust. Now, they're either going to scare the bejesus out of us, or they're going to give us a cuddle. I think it's the former rather than the latter. Smoke and mirrors, Vixtex. Yes, absolutely. But they absolutely, categorically cannot allow Trump to become president again. And he's doing his horse trading, and everybody thinks that he's going to get in. But there will be, I believe, some kind of event to try and stop him. Now, I wish Donald Trump well and long life. Why? I've said this to you before. This is not a political leaning. It's just you can see a mile away that America is bust. America is bankrupt, both morally and financially. And he's the only one that's going to save America. Because if he doesn't get in, America is done. Now, that might be the plan of Putin and the Chinese Communist Party. But just remember, Europe, the West, and America are the last bastions of the world not becoming communist. That's the game. That's the playbook. So if you look at the royals, if you look at America in the 60s and some of the 70s, they had the red under the bed. They were absolutely scared witless of the Russians. Oh, they're going to nuke us. They're going to nuke us. And they wanted to go and fight the Russians. And now the West, after Tucker Carlson's interview, kicking off about Vladimir Putin. Oh, he's president again, is he? Oh, right, let's go fight. No, let's not. Let's not. But Chinese Communist Party just sitting there. Now, in Davos, you're not aware of this, but in Davos, there were some complaints coming out of the World Economic Forum that there was too many Chinese there. Why would there be Chinese at WEF? I'll leave it with you. But they complained there was too many of them. So, through that prism, just observe world events. One, they don't want America to be powerful again because it's morally and financially bankrupt. And it's corrupt. Brilliant, Cliff. And Cliff Wilson said, who ordered the Chinese? Sweet and sour chicken. Hong Kong style. So if you look at what's happening in America, and if you look at what's happening in Europe, they are absolutely apoplectic at what we did in 2016. They want us back in because they want our money back in because, Europe's bust. Ask Germany. Ask France. Ask Emil Macron. Hey, Emil. Looks a bit masculine to me, mate. Have you seen him dancing? So France is in a bit of a bind. And remember, and a lot of people won't talk about this, but it is fact that before the Second World War, the British royal family were kind of King Edward as he was, and Edward and Mrs. Simpson were sort of kowtowing to Hitler. And why? Because the monarchists, the aristocracy, believed that Hitler was the only one that was going to stop communism. Russian communism. So they wanted Hitler to stop the Russians. And he didn't. But communism didn't take over the planet. It was kind of divvied up like a bit of Battenberg. One thing you have not been told this week is that China has, they've just discovered $100 billion worth of oil under, and again, I'm doing this off the back of my head. I read it somewhere yesterday, and I was going to do a video on it. But China has just discovered $100 billion worth of oil under a sea, just kind of from China in between Japan and Taiwan. No, wonder they want Taiwan. It's all going to kick off there. Not long. Cool. Sarah Ann says, those of us who wanted to leave in 2016 are even more determined to leave now. Just saying. I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't want anything that's going to suck the money out of this country and be giving it to the corrupt in Europe. Hang on, what was under a pillow? And so China. So I've said to you that there's a couple of prisms that you need to look at world events, geopolitical events. One, gas and oil. The countries that are literally going planet-wide to try and find oil and gas reserves are doing that because they want their fuel independence. We've got some stuff, some black oil off the North Sea. But what you don't know, and I was told this because my dad was involved, that where you bring your oil ashore, that's the nation that gets the benefit. So the North Sea oil is brought ashore in Scotland. So Scotland feels the benefit, feels the wealth. Except there's, and I'm using sort of metaphor, but there's a tap in the middle of the North Sea that when it's turned will bring the oil ashore in Harle Pill. So if the pesky Scots start kicking off, thinking, Nicola Sturgeon, here, Nicola, Foxtrot Oscar, mate, we'll just bring the oil ashore in Harle Pill. And then let's see how much independence you have. So nobody knows that. Nobody knows it. But Heath being, well, apart from being a pervert, they did the deal and made sure that the oil could be brought ashore in England in the 70s, just in case. Still there. The facility is still there. Why do you think Harle Pill keeps cropping up in the news? I love Harle Pill. Broadcast and trained there in ninjutsu. Ooh, Napoleon blown apart. Thank you for that. China guarantees unification with Taiwan by 2025. With the new oil finds, they can move forward with that plan. I know that part of China is just going to be insanely rich with all that black gold. So, 3 prisms. 1, the rollout of communism, global wide. Secondly, fuel independence, gas and oil independence. Russia's just kind of out there. The Americans do it subtly. They do it in conjunction with, and they've got all the technology. So the other countries are like, Joe, how are you, man? Can you get that, the black gold out the floor? Can you you Americans? Yeah. So those prisms are what is going on. The rollout of communism worldwide may take another 30 or 40 years. You and I won't be around. Your kids or your grandkids might be. So just let them know. And, this is not scaremongering. By any stretch of the imagination, you just have to look at how much debt China's buying up. Their economy's not strong. Economy's not great. GB Patriot, let's get on to it. So let's talk about the Royals. I was just doing a bit of geopolitics to start with. We're going to talk about the Golden Chippy. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. We'll talk about other bits and pieces. And we'll talk about April the 8th. Are you aware of that yet? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. It's sort of a sit rep for the Royals. Because have you noticed how it's all kicking off today? Proper kicking off. Yeah, what they think is, they think we're thick, me and you. They think that we're not stupid. We've seen what the mainstream press did over the last 4 years. That's why nobody believes them. So we know what they did from March 2020. We know what the politicians did. That's why we don't believe them. We don't believe the paper. We don't believe the politicians. And it's starting to wear thin around the royal family. So, I keep saying so, and now I need to stop that. Let's have a look at Catherine, Princess of Wales, the fallout. Because it has. Big time. Now, today's Sun, I'll show you that. So, today's Scum. I saw Kate with my own eyes. When will you leave her? When will the trolls lay off? Now, my response to that is, here, mate, Foxtrot Oscar, how much have the intelligence services paid you? Because you, obviously, need to go to Specsavers. And I'm going to give you the answer, how you can work it all out. You can't with Joe Biden, because the Americans obviously have thrown a huge amount of money at it, and have worked out how we can work out whether that's Kate or not. Or Joe Biden, sorry. So, the Sun. I saw Kate with my own eyes. Should have gone to Specsavers was my response. The Mail. Staff at Kate's hospital tried to access her records. And I went, hang on a second. Why is that front page news? Because you would imagine that the intelligence services would deal with this on the QT. They would deal with it on the QT. And then the Mirror, Kate's medical, and it was a world exclusive. Not my house, it won't. Kate's medical records, security breach. So I'm sitting there looking at this absolute BS. So I did a quick sit rep. Let's have a look at the Catherine, Princess of Wales. I will be respectful and use the correct moniker for both her and William and the King and the Queen. So I looked at the video. I also looked at Sky's reportage from, I mean, you know, they say the older you get, the younger the police officers look. The older you get, the younger the reporters look. The in-screen, in-vision reporters. I mean, he must have been about 15, that boy. Should have had a haircut. Is that just me being... Yeah, probably. It's an age thing. Grumpy old man. Because I'm losing mine. So I looked at both the Sky reportage and I looked at the film that the scum decided to stick the scum all over it. Nobody's going to rebroadcast that. They don't want it rebroadcast. They don't want it putting anywhere else because, you know, YouTube and all the social medias, people will clip it and stick it on social medias. You'll see nobody's done that. They've watermarked it. So I'm not going to ask you yet whether you think it was or it wasn't. I'm just going to offer you the evidence, my lord. You can be judge, jury, and executioner if you wish. I am a man of the cloth. In fact, I am touching cloth as we speak. Look at the huts. It took me a few goes to kind of get my bearings around where they were walking and where they were. But if you look at the huts, this was on, when were they seen? Sunday. Shopping. Bet that boy's not got a credit card. Wouldn't have used cash. None of the Royals carry cash. Fairy lights are still up there, Terry Wfit. I didn't see all the Christmas decorations. I thought, ooh, I'll have a look at it again, just to make sure. But I didn't think the Christmas decorations, as was seen in the video. I'll take your word for it, Terry. You're a good man. So you want straight to the pop shot. You want straight to, how on earth can you work this out, Adrian? It's very simple. The ears have it. Now, the woman that was purporting to be Kate, she's got ears Dr. Spock would have been proud of. And if you look at Catherine, Princess of Wales, she's not Vulcan at all. They're quite dainty. Now, unless... I need to be respectful when I say this. So if I pause and think about it... I don't think they can alter your ears, but, you know, with rhinoplasty and plastic surgeon now, they can. I mean, even Charles has got like a proper wing nut, proper. So all they do with Charles is he doesn't want his ears pinned, so they kind of grow his hair out here, so it doesn't look like he's got massive lug holes, because the hair kind of covers it. It makes it sort of slim his head. It's very clever. It's very clever, but the ears have it. And you will notice that the Vulcan in the video hasn't got the same shape ears as Catherine, Princess of Wales. So I need you to hold that. big sphericals. I need you to hold that. Yeah, Daddy Wfit. Charles was called Juggy as a Gordonston. Tough. Kids are cruel. So you need to hold that, and I'll explain why. Because you're being branded a troll. You're being branded a conspiracy theorist. Now let's have a look. When was the last time they did this? Yeah, March 2020. So they can all foxtrot Oscar, especially the Sun, and especially anybody else. Any of these talking heads that are going on social media or left, right, so centrist media. Oh, I say, those trolls, they need to shut up. Foxtrot Oscar. Oh, those trolls, they're just conspiracy theorists. Well, I think you'll find over the last 4 years, it was only the bloody conspiracy theorists that were right. While we were stuck in our house, while we couldn't get out, while we had to wear a mask, while we had to take orders from idiots. Ooh, Hayden, you're always a good one with information. Breaking news, Buckingham Palace hiring a 25k communications assistant as scrutiny continues into royal handling of Kate Middleton. Kate, I'll also give you a piece to always remember that the press use Kate Middleton because people are searching for Kate Middleton. They're not searching for Catherine, Princess of Wales, maybe too many words. But because it's sort of an epithet that's being given to Catherine by the press itself, people are searching for that, which is why the press continue to call her Kate Middleton. I mean, it's just disrespectful. It's a royal family, for goodness sake. So, you and I, we've seen all this. I've told you they can foxtrot Oscar. I'm a troll. I'm not stupid. I can see when there's something wrong. My own peepers are telling me that's not her. Now, unless she's been on, they're saying that she's had major abdominal surgery and carrying a plastic bag. The royals don't carry anything, including intelligence. They don't carry anything. Don't carry money, don't carry credit cards, don't carry anything. And bizarrely, have you noticed how William, look, if you wanted to flatten these rumours completely, and I'm going to get to the answer of what you're witnessing, they will have told William, take your cap off. Oi, Baldy Bonds, take your cap off. Let the sun shine, reflect. Because then they know it's you. And I looked at him and I thought, he looks a bit dirty around here. And wearing a baseball cap. How are we here, man? What do you think we are? Stupid. And Catherine, she's normally only 3 stone wringing wet. I looked at that picture and went, ooh, blimey, that's a bit skeletal. And she's marching like she's going to invade Windsor or something. So I just thought, why is she carrying anything? Oh, Napoleon blown apart. You're far too sharp, you. Stoma in a shopping bag. I think we could have. Terry, yeah. All right, on special occasions, if, the Queen was going to church and she'd say to Philip, yeah, Philip, give us a fiver. Or give me something with my face on it so I can just put it in the collection. Yeah, we get that. But it's the minute that they've said trolls and conspiracy theorists, there's a rabbit away. Because the easiest way to squash all this is, piece to camera, Catherine, just say, thank you for all your support, I love you, like Charles did with all the cards. Just, thank you, love you all, I'm fine, I'm here with the kids, they're a bit of a pain, but that's kids for you. I've sent William down to the farm shop to get me some giblets. I'm going to make a stew. Or, it would be one piece to camera. She's been so media trained that it wouldn't take 30 seconds to do a piece to camera. It would be on every newscast around the world. Every single one. And they're not. But they're giving kind of grainy pictures in the car. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you believe that the female that was in the video was the female that left the palace being driven by her mother? without being fattest, it must have been the fat version of her. And there is I understand that there is a very, very, very good body double and face double of Catherine called Heidi. And that's who you saw in the video. That's why they're attacking you. Because the best form of defence is offence. And I would suggest this is very offensive. So you and I are being branded trolls and conspiracy theorists for not believing they're shite. Calling names is exactly the same technique that they used in Charlie 19. If you don't do as we say, you're a troll and a conspiracy theorist. Well, lads, I've got enough brains to blow my little cap off my head. And they're going to bully, of course. Mike C. Not being fattest made me LOL and fart at the same time. It's an age thing, Mike. It's an age thing. To get a defendant. Remember when the Queen did the piece to camera after Diana died? Took them a while, but they did it in the end. I know. She was up there weeks. I mean, I was part of it at Fayed's radio station in London. I was part of the management team. And the week in between, not to go off topic, just sort of lifting the veil for you. When it happened in Paris, it took them nearly a week to get down to London because they didn't understand it. They were up at Balmoral, which is a massive estate. No telly there, making their own entertainment up. My brain's working too fast now. So the Queen came down and did a piece to camera because the whole country was in turmoil. As I've said many times on these lives and other videos, the royal family look after the pastoral care of the country. They look after our emotional and mental well-being. They give us stability. I remember that week vividly, as if it was yesterday. And when it's appropriate, I'll make a video for you, giving you everything that I know, of course. But, so the royals, so Kevin Peterson, can you remember the old Spitting Image song? I've never met a nice South African. It was just a song that was, it was just a song on Spitting Image. So Kevin Peterson pops his head up. The first thing that comes into my head was, I've never met a nice South African. And he says, the conspiracy theorists around Kate are absolutely absurd. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Did you take the jibber jabber? 18 months. We'll wait. Yeah, where was Sarah Ann? Sarah Ann made a great comment, and Cliff Wilson said, Windsor Farm Shop, known for its Battenberg. I think it sold out last time I was in. Where's Sarah gone? Bad Wolf Project. Where are the Royal Protection Officers in that photo? Exactly. I'm getting to that in a moment. Sarah Ann says, I've had 2 major abdominal surgeries and was not allowed to carry anything or pick anything up for at least 3 months. So if you think about it, we were told it was planned for January. Then early February. We're only 6 weeks down the line. And the reason why this is engaging the whole country is it's partly out of concern for the royal family. Our great Queen Elizabeth II's only been gone 18 months, September 22. Charlie's got cancer. And if you're a fan of Diana, it must be concerning you that the love of Charles's life, King Charles, Queen Camilla. Can you imagine if Charlie pops off, shuffles off? And again, I wish him nothing but well and a long life. He's our king, our monarch. And the thing that differentiates us from the rest of the world-ish, kind of, most of them, it's like the Americans. 4th of July, 1776, they got out of the monarch or the monarchy taking taxes. So they stopped paying taxes to the monarch, and now they've spent the last 248 years trying to get back in. They love the monarch, everything to do with the monarchy. What were they thinking in 1776? So Kevin Peterson's come out and gone, oh, you know, trolls, you know, conspiracy theorists. I hope you're watching, Kevin. And then. BBC reporter Sonia Malin says, and I quote, "It's absolutely not Kate. Some newspapers are reporting it as fact. But it's not her. No conspiracy theorist, but it's all very odd. She's now being attacked. Sonia Malin is being attacked on social media. People are demanding her sacking. Why are they doing that? That's a bit OTT. So we've got gentle nudges from some sports stars who should know better. Never met a nice South African. That song just keeps playing in my head. And now we've got a BBC reporter going, nah, behave, lads. It's not her. And then, did you catch this? Rose Hanbury, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley. She stated, no, I've not had an affair with William. It's a bit odd and a bit late. Only came out yesterday. And you think. And there's Stephen Colbert. Another IQ point, he'd be a lamppost. He stated as fact. I mean, his scriptwriters really need to be given some lesson in legalese and defamation. Oh, Cliff Woodson. Wilson, good point. Had or having? Well, Rose Hanbury, Marchioness of Cholmondeley, has stated she has not had an affair with William, Prince of Wales. Let me get to the back of the comment, bottom of the comments. As I say, it's just, I keep telling you, it's the timing of things. Because you can see right into, oh, is that going on? Because the royal family have untold wealth, one of the longest bloodlines on planet Earth. They have priceless artifacts that you can't sell for money because nobody has enough money in the world to buy them. That's how rich they are. And the mainstream media are just kowtowing. Now, I keep telling you, the scum is losing about £1 million a week. Yeah, a week. About 50 odd million a year, the last one. I think that was 2022 and it's gotten worse. So if they are losing that much money, if somebody buys the front page, here's $1 million or two, do you mind just, we'll give you the exclusive, because that's how it works. Normally, they doorstep the target on a Thursday and say, we've got this story. Do you want to comment? And then a new story comes out for the Sundays, which is so-and-so's been caught with a lap dancer. That was Simon Cowell's favourite. Yeah, Lord Luke and Chip. And the mainstream media are in such a, and it's a technical term that we use in radio, they're in such a panshite that they can be bought by advertising. Governments do it. Very wealthy people do it. They plant stories and give money through advertising. Oh, Robert Francis, Alan Clark, yeah, of course. Bad Wolf Project. Army appoint Sir Charles Roland Vincent Walker KCB DSO as the new head of the 77th. Oh, in succession to General Sir Patrick Sanders, who takes new role Chief of Staff with the Royals. Now, didn't I mention Christopher Geet the other day? I think he was embroiled with the 77th, and he was he negotiated with lots of governments. He was a very, very well capable man. But thank you for that Bad Wolf Project. And I said to you before in a live, this just feels like another episode of soap. Because look, when it was the how can I? Do you know what you hang your clothes up with on the clothesline? Pegs. So you know when Peggy Sue, you know when Peggy Sue was hanging around and it was all over social media, especially Twitter. When it was Twitter, it's now X, formerly Twitter. All this clothes pegs and Peggy Sue was all over. on the Friday night, I was laughing my cap off. It was entertainment par excellence. I won't tell you about which celebrity is into similar stuff, but took out a super injunction. Don't know what you're talking about. Just to stop it getting into the media, and it never did. Don't know what you're talking about, Your Honour. So it's you know, these two in, and I don't know why I'm doing that, because Montecito isn't in that direction. Probably in that direction. You know, these two over there who think they're coming back to be king and queen. Oh, we're just helping out. Papa's not very well, and William Catherine are not very well. No, he's got a bad temper. She's got something going on, and we'll come back and help out. Yeah, I agree with Terry Wfit. The media are running with the "is it her, it's not her," and all the other garbage when they could just drop the story. I know, that's what I'm saying about the Peggy Sue story and the, clothes pegs. I went to bed on the Friday night laughing my cap off, and I got up the next morning and it had gone. Completely gone. The reason why Bad Wolf Project mentioned the 77th Brigade is kind of intel, but it's all the social media stuff. It's all the online. 77th Brigade, nothing is published without their say-so. So that's why I'm telling you, the royal family, if there's anything in the press that they don't want to be there, 77th on the phone. Yeah, hello. Yeah, my name's William. Billy, short. Can you just squash the story, please? Thank you very much. Louis, will you stop that? You're wrong. So they can do anything they want. So this story staying in the mainstream media, there's a rabbit away. So let me tell you what I think is going on, and just take it, see how it fits, see whether you agree. My personal view, there's an agenda here. What would that agenda be, Adrian? In my view, they're asking us to get behind Catherine, Princess of Wales, which I'm sure we all do. I do believe that there is concern for her health. There's concern from the country for the monarch's health. There's concern for the whole of the monarchy. We love being British. That's who we are. And part of being British is having a monarchy. That's who we are. Since 900, since King Athelstan. But it's quid pro quo. Stop telling us we're trolls and conspiracy theorists, because it seems that over the last 4 years, the conspiracy theorists have been right about absolutely everything. Have you noticed that the mortality of pregnant women in America is going through the roof? Up 63%. Deaths of women in pregnancy up 63% in America. And this is just in the last two and a half years. 21, 22, and 23. 68.3% more than in 21, in 23. They're not really running with that story. Don't want to, do they? But the conspiracy theories were always right. So, the collective, me and you and everybody else that's watching this, are responding out of concern. Just do a little video and say, I need a little more time. Louis is a bit of a handful. Yes, I've had major surgery, an abdominal operation, which needs recovery time. Kate Middleton lookalike says, it's not me at the farm shop. Hayden, where'd you get that from? Has that just come out since I came on air? Now, all Catherine has to do is go, look, you've seen Louis, blimey, he's a handful in himself. William, he can get on with whatever he wants to get on with, and the kids, yeah, they're fine. But she just has to say to the whole country, all I ask for is a bit of time and space to be able to deal with what is quite a major operation and the recovery. And the whole nation, the whole world would agree. Oh, Terry. Heidi Egan. I told you she was called Heidi. And if you look at the Royal Family BS video that I did, Look at the thumbnail on the front. That's Heidi Hagen in the triple thumbnail. And I've put Heidi Hagen in the video. So those that know, and those that don't, go and do your homework. I've actually just given it to you on a platter. Yeah, the royal, what did I call it? Oh, well, it's the royal family, last video. So, where's it? GB News. Bloody hell, Aidan. Terry Wfit, can we now tell our unexpected deaths? Tell how our unexpected deaths are now. Reporting of excess deaths figures has been changed. I know. Heidi Hagen said it wasn't her 3 days ago. You see, this is why people are, and I refer, and it's always with hindsight, I refer you back to William doing an investiture of people that had been given honours. He pitched up huge dark circles around his eyes. Now, you know, the royals love a party. Maybe he was up late. Maybe he didn't sleep at all. He was up that late, and maybe he got up and they were like, Your Royal Highness, you've got an investiture this morning. Yeah, wrong. So he's had to kind of get up and go, oh, lads, man, I've got a hangover. Mars Bar and Coca-Cola. Works well for a hangover. So they kind of got him to the investiture, and he was rocking on the balls of his feet. There was something going on, and we weren't told why he was like that. We weren't. So all Catherine, Princess of Wales, has to do is just pitch up, say, look, you're wrong uns. Lay off. I've got Louis to deal with. I've got a house to run, and I'm not very well. So, you know, Foxtrot Oscar, just give me a bit of time and space. I'll be back just after Easter in April. I'll leave you with it. Because everybody would allow that. Everybody would like, oh, thank goodness she's alive, everything. You know, some of the rumours are not true. Because people are losing their minds. People do not trust what they're being fed by the propaganda peddlers in the mainstream media and the journalists. We don't trust them at all. We don't. But I fear there is a reason why they want us to doubt any kind of truth. Because if you confuse the collective, you can feed them any old shite and they'll take it. And that's what's going on here. That's the operation here. They want to confuse me and you. I mean, in my case, it's not very difficult. Give me 2 shovels and say, take your pick. You can confuse the collective. And that's why they get, oh, you're a troll. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. And people go, oh, hang on a second. Have I got this wrong? Are you sure? I mean, didn't look like her. You can tell by the ears. She's got Spock ears. Vulcan ears. And yet, Catherine, Princess of Wales, hasn't. She's got very cute small ears. That's how you can tell. You don't have to, it's the Windsor Farm shop. She's got Bamberg in that plastic bag. She can have anything she wants in a plastic bag. Look at the ears. But this is about the why. This is not the how or the what. This is about the why. And it could be multi-layered. It could be that they want to have a more stringent control over what we can and can't say online. Now remember, the privacy bill went through Parliament. It had King's assent in the King's speech. So that's being worked on in the background. Is it that? So you're not allowed to have any freedom of speech? And a bit like TikTok in America, if they don't want you to view it, they'll just cut it off at the knees. So it could be that, you know, X is the freedom platform, as some people are terming it. Facebook's not. But you can, and Facebook went down today. Oh dear. So it will be, there will be layers. There will be layers. And I'm concerned that they're going to try and implement more stringent privacy laws in this country. Because that's what they're after. They're after communism light. Can't say anything, can't do anything unless the Chinese Communist Party says you can. Communism. Where all men are equal. Some men more equal than others. And now we've come out that there's 3 staff members. just before I came on air. 3 staff members being investigated over an alleged security breach involving Princess Catherine. Are they going to put stuff in place where literally you can't get access? I mean, you know, the medical profession, surely they should have access. Unless they don't want that particular rabbit hole to come out. Going to go to your comments. I think it was GB Patriot and Terry Wfit. I've got your emails. And I'm going to read them out because some of these are brutal. Honest, but brutal. So is Wills locking up Kate indoors just like David? Ooh. No, I'm not repeating that. So your comments about this whole, it's a farce, it's a fiasco. But it's interesting that the whole nation, literally, every pub, every interaction with other human beings is like, oh, do you think that's Kate? Everybody's talking about it. So all the political stuff, which they're trying to not want you to react to, is just good day for burying bad news, as they said on 9/11. So Control-Alt-Delete says, Adrian, you're right about the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. Just found out that my local water company, Northumbrian Water, is owned by a Chinese company. Northumbrian Water, don't they own Kielder Reservoir? Kielder Reservoir is massive. Not only does it supply the whole of the northeast, I think they send water elsewhere. Kielder is massive. Been there many times. That's very interesting. So if they control the water and they control the energy, what else do they have to control? Digital ID and digital currency. And there's Tony Blair. He's an odious man. I mean, he makes my skin crawl. He's still banging on about a digital ID. Here, mate, Foxtrot Oscar, just tell me this one thing. Forget the digital ID. Did you take Leo to France for him to get the MMR vaccines separately? Oh, just asking for a friend. He'll have me taken out with the Boston Breaks technique. Marcia Toms. Oh, Adrian, they were my thoughts exactly. Other YouTubers say it's definitely Catherine and William because they're convinced, or they've convinced themselves and want it to be true. Is it? Are you the same as me? I look at something and I can see that there's something not right. Can you look at that and just go, it don't, you know, when you see somebody that looks like somebody, you go, is that them? No, there's just, it's a bit blurry. It's a bit, I mean, I was standing in Heathrow at a baggage reclaim. I'd flown down from the northeast and I was at LBC at the time and I was on air that night. So I'd flown down into Heathrow and I'm standing there just minding my own business, picking my nose. And these 3 blokes appeared from nowhere. Jerry Adams, Martin McGuinness, and a huge minder. And I'd only ever seen them. I'd never seen them in the flesh. I'd only ever seen them on the telly. And you kind of look and you go, is that Jerry Adams and Martin McGuinness? What they're doing in Heathrow? And I thought, is it going to kick off? Well, what's going on? So there's also an element of very famous people out of context, suddenly seeing them and you go, oh, hang on a second, I'm in Heathrow. What are they doing here? I'm just collecting me baggage. What are they doing here? So, William and Catherine, seemingly, at Windsor Farm Shop. Are they regulars? They say, oh, they live close by. Well, that was, some people are saying, Christmas decks are up, so it's been done in December. I will read the comments because they say everything. So Marcia says, I had 3 major abdominal operations and each one took me many months to get better. Thank you, Marcia. Sean Piper, Trump on the Farage interview said he might be taking appropriate action against Ginger's ferricles if he wins the presidency. Fingers and toes crossed. That's Sean saying this, Sean Piper, not me. If it was found out he lied on his US visa application, ooh, we're going to have to wait and see. Hope he does. The Donald normally seems to do what he says. Trouble is, he'll then be coming back here, no doubt, crying when the Yanks kick him out. Divorce? Let's see how that plays out. They might go to Canada. That's where they went first. Vegas Milgauss. Adrian, everyone, just keep calm. It's all kicking off. To Lydia Orrick. And I haven't done these comments for such a long time, but they hold so much information. Lydia Orrick, thank you, Lydia. I was told not to lift a kettle for 6 weeks after full hysterectomy, but within weeks, I was back to carrying bags from trolley into the car by 6 weeks. I felt she wasn't looking at William like she would normally, and she walked pretty briskly. Very thin face. It didn't look like they had been together for years, more like she worked for him as staff. I think I put a picture in this this royal video that I uploaded yesterday, and people have looked at the eye line of Catherine, Princess of Wales, when she's standing next to William, the Prince of Wales, and it's off. It's off. The real Catherine is taller. She's shorter. So the eye line comes up to here. The real Catherine eye line comes up to here. I mean, you can't deny that. Oh, we're conspiracy theorists. No, we're bullshit detectives. Or should I say bullshit detectives. The Happy Father. Adrian, I genuinely don't think it was... It says lake, but I'm sure it's not. At the farm shop, just look at the close-up of the OIC. No, Bad Wolf, I know OIC as officer in case or officer in charge. And Bad Wolf Project made a very, very, very good point. Where was the Royal Protection detail? This is the future King of England. Oh, I'm just nipping to the farm shop. Just going to go and get a bit of Battenberg. I think Catherine must be pregnant. She's got a hankering for Battenberg. Where was the Royal Protection Squad? Where was the Royal Protection Detail? Where was the Royal Protection Officer? They have to be around. I mean, imagine if me and you were sitting there and you didn't particularly like the Royals, and all of a sudden, Willie and Kate walk past and you kind of go, "Here, you wrong 'un, come here. Want to work with you?" The Royal Protection Officer would make sure you didn't get out of your seat. Paul T. Thank you, Paul. Calm down, Adrian. GB Patriot. Hi, Adrian. Did you notice in the laughable Kate and Will's body doubles video, there were Christmas decorations hung up on the shed buildings behind them? Also, hidden in metadata in the photos and videos shows it was filmed in early December. They think we're daft, man. They think we're daft. It smacks of typical establishment muddying the waters technique, whilst the real bad things go on unnoticed. I mean, as in King Charles dying very soon, Rose Hanbury's... Got to be careful there, GB Patriot. The list goes on, and not to mention fat government long-term contracts handed out to Tory donors. Keep up the good lives. Thank you, GB Patriot. That'll be Infosystem, who've been given £3.5 billion worth of IT contracts for the NHS. That's rich boys' wives. She's got shares in Infosys, and they're being given billions of pounds worth of contracts. I mean, the deniability is, I'm the Prime Minister. You know, I don't have any sway or influence on what my wife does. Hardaway and shite, man. Thank you, GB. Patriot. Hidden Paths. I was once taken to watch live wrestling at the Victoria Hall in Hanley. I was invited along by a nice family who were clearly keen regulars, and it would have been churlish and impolite to refuse their offer. I'd watched it on the telly on Saturday evenings as a bit of fun, didn't we all? It was the 70s, but had never watched it live. We were up in the balcony and looking down on the ring. There is a joke there. It's like Jake Paul. He's going to fight Mike Tyson and take a battering in the ring. It was very instructive as everyone really got into it, and pretty soon were whipped into an emotional frenzy. Then one of the wrestlers, the baddie, or the heel as they call it in wrestling, apparently knocked out his opponent with an illegal punch. I mean, I say apparently, because from my bird's eye viewpoint, the blow clearly missed by at least a foot. I could understand the people ringside being fooled by this because, up close and personal. But when I looked around expecting anybody up in the balcony seats to be smirking and rolling their eyes, probably non-smirkers, I found nothing of the sort. They were all, including my perfectly sane and reasonable companions, baying for blood. They must have seen what I saw, but it didn't matter. They were hypnotized and behaving exactly as they were expected to behave. It was a very useful lesson. People see what they are told to see, and they see what they expect to see. Catherine, Princess of Wales, and William, Prince of Wales. So the Bad Wolf Project says royal visits are planned 8 weeks in advance. Wills and Kate won't just nip to Tesco's for 20 Bensons. Yeah, she does smoke. Fair dues. Tanisette Kerry. End this pantomime, Adrian. Abolish the monarchy. Replace it with elected heads of state. Have you seen America? While you were at it, get rid of the House of Lords, parole boards, jury system. I was in the House of Lords, in the chamber of the House of Lords a week ago, and I can't begin to tell you the opulence in that chamber. The gold is incredible. Terry Wfit says, here, Adrian, who says the Sun's video and photos are of the Princess of Wales? Only the Sun. Buckhouse has made no comment on the Sun's story. The woman in the photo could be anyone, could be any of the Kensington Palace staff, friend of the family, or even, dare I say it, part of Will's security team. And then you wrote a very, 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 very funny line. But I can't repeat it, you're wrong. It was just so funny. Maybe if I have too much of the altar wine, I might just blurt it out one night. Prawns and tuna. Funny, funny, funny. And don't ask, because I can't tell you. They literally would kick me out of YouTube. Dale Steele says, Adrian, I still reckon Harry will be king. Dale, if he does, if by some miracle he does become king, we want the lottery numbers off you every weekend. Miss Knows It All. They've been editing their pictures since the 1940s, including the ones with Hitler. Polar Sky says, those were my thoughts exactly, Adrian. Other YouTubers say it's definitely Catherine and William because they've convinced themselves and want it to be true. I would be extremely surprised if the footage is genuinely the Prince and Princess of Wales. I've had 3 major abdominal operations and each one took me many months to get better. Thank you, Polar Sky. Dan Brooker. Today my kids said that someone in the royal family had died. I mean, it was ridiculous. On X and the socials, people were like, oh yeah, they've died. No, they haven't. Well, as far as we know, as far as we're aware. I mean, that is the reason why everybody's so up in arms, because we're not being given the truth. But as I say, if you look at people accessing Catherine's medical records, is the agenda tighter rules around privacy? We don't know. Lydia Rock again. I think we've done that. Yeah, we've done that. Thank you. Blagger. I couldn't care one tosh about stories around the royals. And those that try to promote themselves as knowing more than others just make it up as they go along. Thanks for the kind words, Blagger. Paul Cowrie. Leave Harry and Meghan alone. I wish they'd leave us alone. Honestly. Who's that? Rain Blaze. She's been given a facelift symbols. She might be using that, kind of a pull-up, and then she'll wear those M&S pants, so she's got a big round bum. That's William. So I wish they would stay in Montecito. Look, just live your life. You said you don't want to be part of the royal family. You don't want any part of it. You don't want to do it. You're not going to be active or anything. Just enjoy life. You're new age gurus. Just be new age. My TV said, explaining how monarchy works is hard enough to people who live in one. Example, Charles becomes king the moment the Queen died. A coronation is just a confirmation ceremony. I know. Bit of pomp and circumstance. And tens of millions spent on it. Robert Francis said, Adrian is truthful when he says we are always sort of being told half-truths. American Revolution myth, typical, 1776. Reality, Canada didn't join in. No, they took all the treasure and put it under Oak Island. Have you watched that? 10 years. And it's always a promise of, yeah, we'll find the treasure tomorrow. We'll find the treasure tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm starting to want to put pins in my eyes and watch that again. I've been watching it for 10 years and I'm still no further forward. Harry birth and Diana's nose changed shape. At Harry's birth, Diana's nose changed shape as it was a difficult birth. Did he come out the sunroof? And don't they too posh to push? So they kind of do it via the sunroof and it just tidies everything up for... Nicky Watson, why has William not been sworn in as the Prince of Wales? I asked that a few months ago because you would have thought that they would have a timetable. They would have the King coronated and then kind of this spring, this summer, they would have William coronated as the Prince of Wales. I remember Charles's coronation as investiture as the Prince of Wales. But if it's not going to be long enough for him to be coronated. And another rumour that I'm hearing, and this is not anywhere in any of the papers, my source is impeccable, I'm not going to go and divulge that. Terry Wfit doesn't need to be the one for Charles, was a put-on job to quieten down the Welsh nationalists. Well, there is that. But I'm also hearing a rumour that Charles is not long. And what they're going to do is they're going to run William as regent and Charles as the figurehead. So Prince William's going to do all the graft, but he's going to be regent. And, you know, Charles is 75. He's a Scorpio, so he's not going to be 76 until back end of the year. Hang on. Good question. Andy Turner, where are you, Andy? What you said? You have to ask it again, Andy Turner. I didn't quite get to it. But I'm reading Robert Francis's very, very good comment. Of the 13 eventual breakaway states, America, some not keen, New York abstained at first, and it was actually 14 seaborne states, not 13, as Florida did not join the new United States of America. Effective American independence, 1783, not 1776. Not quite the history you're told. Many pro-British Tory rebels in the States, 1776 to 1783. I like America, despite strange things they did to our sports, rounders and rugby and stuff. I know. Adrian, bit of recent news. US Homeland Security said in the next 2 weeks they will give a decision on revoking Prince Harry's visa if he lied. Additionally, whoever they decide, former President Trump has said, also probably have to revoke. So they could be coming back. I hope King Charles and Princess Catherine are keeping well and no negative news. Agreed completely. Thank you, Robert Francis. Rusty Mouse. Here, Adrian. Wrong. Thing is, the contents of the bag she was carrying could be very light. Not that I'm an expert on plastic bags, but there was enough in the bottom of the bag to give it some weight. Because it wasn't floating around. I mean, it might not have been windy, but, you know, they're saying we're conspiracy theorists. No, Battenberg. Also, the close-up of her has been altered by an app or a bot farm or something. The huts and decorations are still there to this day. Someone went there to check it out. Brilliant. Brilliant. Because they can't do stuff and then kind of go, no, you can't dig. No, you can't go there on your own. I mean, that's what YouTube's for. Hang on. The old Bovril. Don't forget April the 8th. I won't. I'm going to tell you. Don't worry. But I want to get all these comments for the Royals because it is upsetting a lot of people, especially now that you've been called a troll and a conspiracy theorist. Mike Kay says, what on earth are you talking about? When you were leaning forward, it looked like you had your arms and head on the fence. Having an old person... nasty, lecherous gossip, just like a Les Dawson sketch. You been on the cooking sherry, Mike? Either that or your missus is not giving you any. Though he was very funny, you just sound nasty. Leave Kate alone. I'm not. What? Honestly, am I talking Swahili? Is it a bit challenging for your intellect to get what I say? Do you want me to enunciate my words? Or is it the fact that another IQ point you'd be a lamppost? So go out in the garden and lean over the fence to see if anyone will listen to this drizzle. Drizzle is rain, my good man. Jim Atkinson, oh, long live the king. And editing. That made me laugh, Chip. That really made me laugh. Paula James, we are fed shite and kept in the dark like mushrooms. I agree. But where are they going with this? I'm telling you. They may implement more stringent laws and rules around privacy. 90s Kid says, they didn't fool me when I saw the video online and I knew within seconds that wasn't her, because if it had been, the media would have been round her like a bad smell. Or flies round... No, I won't say that. Lauren Taylor says, oh, Adrian, stop being a drama queen. What? Completely over-egging it. After major abdominal surgery, the advice is not to lift anything heavy, i.e. a kettle full of water, for 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, and I'm not sure it's there either. Thank you, Lauren. That also made me laugh. And final couple... Chris Blythe says, Adrian, as they say, never trust anything in the newspaper except the price on the front page. You're nicking my lines now. Nobody knows if that photo from the video is genuine, nor does anyone know what was in the bag and how much it weighs. Mothers who have had babies, be they 6 to 10 pounds delivered by caesarean section, lift and carry their babies around. Not immediately, they don't. Too many people break their necks to make money off royal stories. Well, you'd be pleased to know I'm not making any money from this. The lives, I don't get paid. And Cliff Wilson. Maybe, just maybe, Kate was carrying Battenberg in the bag. And Cliff, you win for comment of the week. I absolutely roared at that. What was I going to say? I am hoping that I've not, and I have. So September the 8th. Let me just get my notes. I'm still good for another 10 minutes or so. So April the 8th. America is losing its mind. It's Project Fear. But you know what the Americans are like? Not the brightest. They have a president that can't string a sentence together. And if anybody gets a bit uppity, presidents, they just assassinate them. So what's happening on April the 8th? There appears to be, and maybe this is the Black Swan event, I doubt it though, there appears to be a complete lunar eclipse. And the arc of carriage of the lunar eclipse goes through all these towns whose name, solar eclipse, thank you, whose name I can't remember, but it, literally they all start with the same letter. I think they're all called the same. So it's a solar eclipse, April the 8th, that's going to go across North America. And the Americans are losing their mind over it. It is Project Fear. I mean, it's bad enough with Brexit and the Europeans. But answer me this. Riddle me this. Oh, yeah, watch out for another Jonestown episode. God, I remember that. I'm old enough to remember that, Terry. Adrian, what do you reckon Sunak and Obama meeting was about? God, blimey, GB, Patriot. I want the lottery numbers off you for the weekend. I literally was about to mention Barack Obama. I said to you, what do you reckon too? Is Barack Obama running America? And he sweats on the sofa. I mean, is it a new PlayStation game? He thinks that he's got like The Sims or something, but it just happens to be OCG Biden. Is he kind of controlling the Biden family from his PlayStation 5? And he sweats on the sofa. And then he pitches up at number 10 Downing Street. Street, singular, not plural, Adrian. What was that about? Yeah, right, lads. Yeah, just popped in. Rishi's getting the kettle on. Reckons he's got some Battenberg. Just kind of saunters in to Downing Street, knocks on the front door. Hello, lads. Yeah, Barrack here. You got a kettle on? Just, all right, Jim Atkinson. But it's the adrenaline. I mean, I've hardly coughed all day, and it is getting better. It's getting drier. But everybody's saying, get to the doctors with that cough, you're wrong. Thank you, Chip. And your legendary Battenberger on Sunday. So Barack Obama, it's the most random of things. I heard that he's in Ireland today. What's he over there for? I mean, the Taoiseach has resigned with immediate effect today. Ooh. Why is that? Have you seen the footage of him in a car park at 4 o'clock in the morning? What else have they got on him? Because you don't, these people are psychopaths, man. They're sociopaths and psychopaths. They don't just go, oh, I've done all this work. What do you mean I've got to resign? Foxtrot Oscar. They don't go. You've got to drag them kicking and screaming. Look at Thatcher. 1922 went, here, Margaret, off. No, can I not stay? No, you can't. Oh, go on. I just got number 10 the way I liked it. Don't care. Off you go. To the Taoiseach, Ireland's in meltdown over the illegals. And you don't muck with the Irish. They're fabulous, fabulous. And I've got loads of Dublin friends, loads and loads and loads. They're fabulous people, but you don't upset them because they can proper fight. Proper. So when, you notice how that illegal? Because it was said that he was, brilliant, Bad Wolf Project, Leo Varadkar, Doggy Car Park. I'm just polishing me Bobby's helmet, he said to the officer. So there was, according to the reportage that came out of Ireland, an illegal knifed a woman and children. And that story's been squashed. The Irish are up in arms, still up in arms. A few months later, hang on, that's Chrissy's no light lunch. You can tell by me figure. So why was Barrack, former president, 44, why was he in Downing Street? Are they doing dodgy deals or something? And what's he doing in Ireland today? According to my sources. The Bovril, yes, and in came John Major, an absolute drip, clearly an establishment plan. You know that John Major, I keep telling you this, stands with Norman Lamont on the front of 10 Downing Street going, lads, we've got to leave the ERM. And everybody turned around and went, what do you mean, leave the ERM? When did we go into that? Oh, no. The country's going to go bankrupt. And everybody turned round and said, ooh, hang on a second. But there's John Major. He's honni soit qui mal y pense. He's, there's only 25 of them. It's like royals and the top echelons of society. Can't remember. Order of the Garter. Knight of Soros. Brilliant. Who said that? Robert Francis, Knight of Soros. The old Bovril. They can't get Battenberg in America, and Clinton's run out of it. Hillary will be wagging her finger. What do you mean you've got icing on your trousers, William? So Obama's popped into number 10. He's seemingly in the Republic. April the 8th. Watch the Americans go absolutely loopy nuts on April the 8th. They're crapping it. Maybe they do need Battenberg. Just want to pass a comment about the Gould and Chippy. I've got some other comments from the live last Sunday. But we'll do a quick take on, the Big Brother household. So it's another boring day in the Big Brother household. Shouty man still in there. Grumpy old man is through to the final. Menopause woman is liked and Dancy man might win it. But I have to say this. Have you seen the helmet on Will Best? Yeah, it's Dear 10 of the Big Brother household, and Will Best, the presenter's wearing a helmet. I keep looking at his hair. I can't work out whether it's a wig or whether it's natural. Honestly, it looks like, you remember Aqua, Barbie girl? One of them was bald, so they stuck a wig on him. Will Best looks like that. It's like, I mean, you know, strong wind, and then you'll go, oh my word, look at that, look at that. I mean, it's 2024, who cares if somebody's bald? But buy a better wig. Or do what Harry does. Put some shredded wheat on the top of his head and paint it ginge. I mean, Harry, bless him. I wish him well. But that haircut, mate, just chop it all off. Or get a hair transplant and have your pubes stuck on the top of your head. Curly anyway. Golden Chippy. Golden Chippy. So, I think it was GB Patriot told me about this, the mural of the Union flag. And it's... journalists, the propaganda peddlers, should know the answer to the questions that they're asking. They should do their research before they go and kind of do a piece to camera or they do whatever. But they don't. They're just amateurs. So they pitch up and go, oh, hello, can you tell me about the Union Jack? The Union flag is a Union flag. It is only a Union Jack when it's on the jackstaff of a boat. Don't they teach this in school? It is the Union flag under every conceivable circumstance, except when it's on the jackstaff of a boat. So there's all these journalists going, oh yeah, the Union Jack. And maybe I'm just getting to be a grumpy old boy. But, oh, for goodness sake, man. We're Britons. We are great Britons, except for the reporters who are pathetic Britons because they don't even know their own bloody heritage. Anyway, the Golden Chippy. So I did a bit of research. And the Union flag mural. Now, Greenwich Council are up in arms. Oh, I say, no, you can't have the Union flag mural in your chip shop, for goodness sake. Why not? Oh, wait, man. It just adds a bit of something. But they're saying, look, our country should have protected identity. You know, you've got all these French cheeses and you've got all these world foods that you can't make anywhere else except in that country. The Great British Chippy. Why didn't they just protect it on Big Ben? Yeah, they could do. But why aren't we going, here, lads, Foxtrot Oscar, we're English. And we have, I mean, it was bad enough when they stopped allowing you to go and get your fish and chips in newspaper wrapping because it kept the fish and chips warm till you got home. So they're saying, oh, it's unauthorised advertising, so they'll have to get rid of the mural. So the locals have turned round and said, hang on, Lauren, have you fallen out with me or something? I know it's Catherine, Princess of Wales. Hang on, where's Retro gone? No, is Retro getting a tattoo? Getting a bit of ink. Oh, we'll have to ask him about it. Anyway, let's get back to this mural. So the locals are going, oh, I don't know what the local council's on about. Just leave it. And the local councils are saying, oh no, it's unauthorised advertising. What? How do we in shite, man? Have you seen the advertising? Do you know how much a cod and chips is? Now, forgive me, because I am a bit of a tight northerner. I ain't spending me wonga. But £17.50 for cod and chips. Hang on. Hayden says, a core group of right-wing Tory MPs have openly discussed ousting Rishi Sunak and replacing him with a unity candidate, such as Tom Tugendhat, and a series of meetings since the weekend. I was going to... we'll get back to golden chippy. If it rains, there's a golden shower. At the chippy. What was I going to say? Yes. So we are in very exciting times. Conservatism, they're branding it. Oh, it's the ultra right wing. Yeah, it's the right wingers. We as Britons, you can have the Workers' Party, Labour, Red, or you can have the wealthy party, the Tories, the Conservatives. I mean, you know, Winston Churchill, he was a Liberal till he went over to the Tories and then won World War II single-handedly, seemingly. But, hang on, what's that? Neptune Gamer, shower steel documents. Oh, you're having... What? Terry Wfit. $7.95 for a decent-sized cod and haddock and chips. Up here, matey. I'll be round yours. Because I'm going to tell you, cod and chips, so conservatism. So what's happening is it's this kind of communisation. I know that's not a word, but it's the rollout of communism worldwide. That's the new world order. Because if they get communism worldwide, then it's just going to be one central committee that absolutely nails you. So cod and chips is £17.50. That's not even the worst one. Halibut, a large halibut, 24 quid. I mean, can you imagine? I'm just going outside. I'm going to flog me wares for a couple of hours to get 24 quid. It's nearly a third mortgage. Haddock and chips, £18.50. I remember when fish and chips were a fiver and there was outrage. I mean, in the northeast, there's where I'm from, or where I was born elsewhere in Sunderland. My grandparents came from a proper rough part of Sunderland, and Townend Farm is where I spent the majority of my schooling. We used to have a phrase. You could walk into a chip shop and go, "Can I have a fish lot?" Yeah, they're from Hendon, yeah. Yeah, mum's side. Was it Notrian? No, not Notrianis. We'll talk away from this, Terry, because there was a very famous, like opposite. It was the Masonettes in Hendon, where I remember them coming from. But my granddad was took on all comers on the cobbles just to make a bit of money for me nana and the 9 kids he knocked out. Dirty old tart. GB Patriot. When I lived down south, I got kicked out of the chippy because I asked for chops and gravy. Or was it chips and gravy? All northern boys love gravy. They call it sauce in the south. No, it's bloody gravy, man. But £18.50. So we go into in Townend Farm. There's kind of Townend Farm, Hilton Castle, and Downhill. Not into Castletown, I don't think, but that kind of definitely Townend Farm. Bits of the neighbouring council estates. You could walk in and say, "Can I have a fish lot?" And when I went to work for Radio Tees on Teesside, dear friend of mine, he used to go, "You a fish lotter?" So what do you mean? He said, "Do you ask for a fish lot?" I said, "I do." "Aye, why?" He said, "There's only like a couple of estates." "Oh yeah, Scotland fish supper." Bad Wolf Project. No, moist. Hang on, what's going on here? Cracking your own gags, your own ones. So, the Golden Chippy, there'll be loads of people there, be a right shower. So there'll be the Golden Shower at the Chippy. But I absolutely, categorically would not pay 17.5 nicker for cod and chips. I can take my fishing rod off Sunderland Pier and catch a cod. You're wrong. Cool, blimey. French and Spanish fishing all of our fish and depleting stocks. I know, we should go to war with them. I've told you before. They're not very good fighters, the French and the Spanish. Not very good fighters at all. We're the best. We are the best. Bad Wolf Project. Pea fritter. What you do? Pea fritter? Mushy. See, I've got you talking about food now. I know my audience. Said a very beautiful woman once. And I worked this out. So if you've stayed for most of this live, then you're getting the golden stuff, said the Chippy. Jeremy Hunt, Cockney rhyme and slang, he's let slip that the general election's in October. I mean, I don't trust. As I say, I never trust. Fish patty and chips. Ooh, Viv Kenyon. And pineapple ring. You got a pineapple ring, Viv? There you go. All the gags will start. And How can you tell when a politician's lying? Their lips move. So Jeremy Hunt, I don't know whether he's trying to throw people off the scent. Oh, and a jubbly. Hang on, Napoleon Bonaparte. But you don't get jubblies in America. God, jubblies. We are talking about the same thing, aren't we? Like iced, flavoured ice triangle thing. Oh, jubbly. Especially on a hot summer's day. God, spend hours. So, Jeremy Hunt. It's in October. But you know why they could be thinking about October? I mean, they're a bunch of slaggers. Why? Because the summer recess starts the 23rd of July. So they're having the Easter recess, which is normally 6 months, and then they have the summer recess, which is 5.5 months. They only work 2 weeks of a year. But if they go on their summer recess, 23rd of July, 2024, they'll come back in September, 1 month before the general election. So the conference season is kind of September to October. So if they launch the general election in October, they basically come back from recess. They all go off to shagging ne'er-do-wells in a seaside resort. And they'll just go, and I mean, I can't imagine Rich Boy Sunak being leader of the Tory party at that point. Because, I mean, he's not Thatcher. Terry, you're making me laugh and I'm losing my concentration. You're utter wrong. Have a pint in the William Jameson Witherspoon Force. I used to go, there was it Dial 9 in Sunderland? Terry will know, Mr. John possibly. Dial 9, they used to have strippers on a Saturday lunchtime. And I was only 15 at the time. God blimey, open my eyes. So everybody piled into Dial 9 before they either went to the footy or went back to the pubs to get slaughtered in a game of darts. Misspent youth. So the conference season is September to October. So basically what they'll do is they'll announce it in September. They'll all go to the Labour Party and Tory Party and Lib Dems and Reform Party and every other political party. They'll go and have their rousing speeches to kind of get the troops roused. And it's going to be a rallying cry from September. You mark my words. I did say it to you. I stuck my neck out. Not much of it. Mike Tyson, size of a thigh. It's going to be a May general election. And then obviously somebody in number 10 went, "Oi, Rishi, mate, that wrong'un from the Church of the Poison Mind on Theatre of the Mind on YouTube reckons we're going to have a May general election." And it got a bit lively about 2 weeks ago when they're all going, "Oh, we're going to have a May general election. He's going to call a May general election." Oops. But if they do, then you'll know why. Because if they announce an October general election, it's because they're all off for the summer. All off to Tony Blair's house in the Caribbean, which he hasn't got. Normally uses Cliff Richard's. New Bond. Hang on. Tomato in a kebab. Just sick, says Bad Wolf Project. I agree. Right, last few comments and then we'll wrap it up. But Donald Trump, if he gets elected, something's going to change. He said H&M, and I don't mean the clothes shop. Broke the Queen's heart. He loved our Queen. He loved Queen Elizabeth. Absolutely adored her. Loved. Because, his mum was Scottish. And remember the Crown. Maybe I'll get the script and I'll write it down. I'll give it to you. Queen Elizabeth is talking to Prince Philip. And she goes, "We're the final generation, Philip." Because do you think that this generation of royals have got any backbone? I think William has. But Charles, I mean, God, this is history. They'll be talking about Charles in 1,000 years or 1,500 or 2,000 years. Is he going to get the moniker Charles the Weak? Or is he just a really nice guy who's really sensitive? Hang on, Lauren Taylor said something. Will someone please explain the relevance of a pineapple outside your house? I'm not stupid. I get the Battenberg thing. Swingers, Lauren. Swingers. There's pampas grass, but pineapple. See, Terry and I are on the same wavelength. You get the Battenberg thing. Well, if you see a pineapple outside of somebody's house, or there was a bassist I was watching on YouTube, and Thomason's Guitars, and there's a great bassist on that. I can never remember her name, but every time she does a video on YouTube, there's a pineapple in the back, and I was like, has anybody told her what the pineapple stands for? Oh, Chris, did you drink in flares in Sunderland? Oh yes. Bad one. Oh, yeah. Tower Block Tracy. I've had a whisper. Not the bar, the chocolate bar you're on. I've had a whisper that Tower Block Tracy has had to take a couple of weeks to recover, because seemingly she was doing the Houston 500, but it was the Tower Block Tracy 500, and she may have received an injury. So she's just going to take a couple of weeks to recuperate, and then Tower Block Tracy will return. Possibly traumatised, but I'm sure a brand new woman. Let's. Oh, did they, Terry? Honestly, you're such a font of knowledge. Hang on. Anybody want to tell Paul Blatch what the Battenberg's about? Are you sitting comfortably, Paul? This might traumatise you. Everybody else is laughing because I've traumatised them previously. So, there was a BBC radio presenter once, and he organised sex parties. And at these sex parties, they used to bring the Queen of Scat from Europe. Used to pay her $3,500 for a day. And I remember seeing the email with one guy going, so basically the Scat Queen, she will go into the other detail maybe another time. But basically she used to eat Battenberg so that when it came out the other end, it was fragrant. It smelled better. I'm not sure it ever could, and but this, I mean, I still think the people that worked with me at this particular place will be laughing their caps off if they're watching this live. And he's still working in radio, I think. Oh no, Bad Wolf project. Will TBT be whole again? I think she's got more than 4. Sarah Ann makes your poop taste better. Not that I'll have it for me dinner, Sarah Ann. Supposedly it's a fragrance. So I hope that was it Chris? Paul Blatch. I know it's traumatic. The rest of the story is even worse, which I'll tell you one day. But that's why we have the oddity, the critical thinkers, all here. Let me call blimey, man. I did 2 hours the other night without any scripts or anything, and we're getting to that. So, comments from Live 66 on Sunday from the Wolfie 57. Wasn't Gordon Astley on the second reincarnation of Tiswas and Checkers Plays Pop? Gordon Astley was the Brekkie presenter when I arrived at Century 106. He married Femi Oki, the CNN weather girl. She's probably still working in America, but Gordon is just a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous guy. And here's the secret. Gordon Astley was the phantom flan flinger from Tiswas. You could pay me good money for that. Tune in next Sunday. Napoleon blown apart. Let's get traumatised again. So Terry Wfit says, the story about KC being deceased will be or is being blamed on, guess who? Those wascally Wussians. The story did carry on some Russian websites, but it was started on the US website. No, he wasn't blobby. It's too thin. But hey, why not blame Putin? If we say it enough times, people will believe it. Our UN staff are going to get a right kicking. Roasting. Since the Russian elections, they have been doing the rounds trying to get other countries to announce the Russian elections as undemocratic, illegitimate, bad faith. Out of the 190 or so countries in the General Assembly of the UN, only some of the 50-odd countries of the West have made such comments. The global majority, the global south, have said they are happy with the elections. Well done, Mr. Putin. The West is going to shit, said a spokesperson. We will soon be the third world if our leaders keep up their crap. Faith in our banking has only been totally undermined by sanctions and seizures. Faith in our weapons systems are being slowly eroded as Patriot batteries burn. HIMARS get counterstruck and M1 Abrams and Bradleys incinerated. I'm sure these are all technical terms, which Terry may explain. Faith in our leaders, well, Biden shot that away. UK leadership is looking fairly weak worldwide. Blame that on rich boy, cockeyed. But at least we stick by our friends. Don't we? And don't forget lockdowns and masks work against viral pandemics. Only we need them quicker, longer and harder. Well, Adrian. And Andy Sinsky. Here! Wrong un! When do we get to purchase some merchandise? All I'm going to say, the designs have been done. It's down to me to get a Vistaprint. Mugs are coming first, but we have worked in the background. You will get merch, Andy, I promise, because it would help me lots. Otherwise, I'm going into the poorhouse. Hang on, Lauren. My husband was called Robert Taylor. There were hundreds of you. I thought I was quite, not numb. Didn't know about the pineapple. There you go, Lauren. Every day's a school day. That's why people keep returning. Not for the pineapple, and not for the Battenberg either. Don't give it away for free. It costs too much. But I think we need 5 more to get over 100 likes. There's 188 people here. You're wrong ones. Smash the likes before we go. A couple of more. Oh, Retro. Hang on. Retro, where you been? I'm just winding it up, so to speak. Somebody said earlier in the evening, Retro, that you're getting some ink. Are you getting tattoo, Retro? Jip Atkinson, Retro. Well, everybody's welcoming Retro, and he's literally walked through the body of the Kirk in the last 60 seconds. Bring my apple. Is that another euphemism? Don't forget, I'm on X as @Adrian Allen. I really would appreciate it if you wanted to follow, assuming I've got to get that up to over 500 subscribers. So if you're on X and you kind of want what I do on the lives in text form, then you'll get that and some videos on X. So please follow if you can. Oh, blimey, I've got well over 100. Do appreciate that. Sorry, Retro, you'll have to watch it on catch up. I know that you're a busy man, but Bad Wolf Project, I'm not repeating that. You're wrong. Brilliant. Who's that? Neil Cunningham. Thank you, Neil. Really appreciate it. Next live is on Sunday, 8 o'clock, as ever. Wednesdays and Sundays. They're going to morph into other things. We've got lots of good ideas and plans. I know I keep saying this, but there's only 24 hours a day. Vivian Darlow, see you on Sunday. Retro's late. He should be put on jankers. Oh, the old buffalo. And Sarah Ann, thank you, Sarah Ann. Always appreciate it. Thank you for your likes. Plenty of them tonight. Thank you for your subscriptions. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you get alerts for every video that I release. We're going to become more consistent in what we're doing. There are plans, and I hope you've enjoyed this evening's live. We'll do a next one, 8 o'clock on Sunday. Retro, thank you, even if it was for just a couple of minutes, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you to everyone that's been in the body of the Kirk this evening. Hope you've enjoyed the sermon, and I will see you Sunday, 8 p.m. Be well, stay well, speak to you soon.